What's up, guys? Dushane has big money problems. Find out more on Top Boy.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What up, bruvs? Thank you for tuning in to Top Boy episode 1. Episode 3 it's season 1, Big Flames. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am your wonderful host, Zakia, and I love everything about Drake, so that's why I'm on this panel, because he's the executive producer, and I have my amazing co-host with me, Tehran.
I love everything about Adele Noor, so I'm on this show watching because he's also one of the executive producers. So we can't forget the other executive producers who make this show happen. Maverick, Jimmy, the whole crew.
You know what? And we never do. But, as a big Drake fan myself, shout out to Champagne Poppy and all of the other executive producers for producing such an amazing show. So today we're going to talk about the fight between A-Rods and Fields, Dushane versus Sully, big money problems, and Sully's new family. But I got to say, what did you think about the show?
Overall, I thought, once again, we get into this flow. It is a very engaging show. The show definitely draws you into this underbelly of England's criminal world. We get this dynamic between Duchaine and Sully, where it's almost like a breakup, the way you would feel about an ex. Very similar. At the end of that discussion, I really thought Sully was going to be in, and he says no, puts his foot down. Then you see Sully goes back to it. We also see these characters that are coming back, but now they're grown. So Jace and Jem are back in the picture, and we're learning more about their woes as we go down. Jason's mom died, and we didn't even hear about it, and it's a horrible way to go. Of course, through just having a staph infection, that's just a horrible way to go. Very preventable, especially since it was due to drug use. And then, of course, we get this new storyline going forward with Dress and the undercover police. While on the other hand, we get all these problems. We get all these problems with the family and selling burgers. I mean, there's just a lot going on.
Yeah, I truly agree. For the third episode, there's so much going on.
There is.
There's violence. There is a breakup, as you said, between Sully and Dushane. And I just love how they continuously bring the Jamaican, UK, London flow in every episode, and they really keep it authentic and original. So it's really interesting to see, especially from someone who's never traveled there. So I feel like I'm a part of their culture. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, you use bruv now every day.
I
You're
do.
like, what's up, bruv? What's up, bruv? You over here, bruv? Like, why are we talking to the person at McDonald's like this?
I'm trying to get into the lingo, so that way when I go to London, I can at least fit in somewhere. I'm just saying.
I'm sure you fit in everywhere you go.
He is finally being nice to me. It took a long time to come to this point.
That was sarcasm.
Okay.
So,
anyways, let's get right into it. So this fight between the Roads and the Fields got pretty violent, really violent. It was blood. It went from the streets to the hospital. Do you think that was a smart idea to even take the fight to the hospital? And is someone going to go down for this fight?
it actually just shows me that despite all of Jamie's maturity, he is still a child. And that way in which he retaliates against Cam and the A-Road crew, and the fact that even Lizzie brings it up, he didn't get a reply. He's still alive, right? He didn't get a reply. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. That's one of those epitomes of a gangster phrase. Well, Jamie didn't move in silence. This is a very hotball situation. There's film. It's all over, presumably World Star, because it's already on the news.
Right.
A lot of cameras came out. And even though no one was easily identifiable, Lizzie is correct. When it comes to criminal acts, these are the things that get you arrested. It's the little things. It's the stupid things. You know how they catch bank robbers? Because they double park at a hydrant. It's that parking ticket that undoes people. It's not the actual act a lot of times.
Yeah. And with Lizzie giving him that advice, I think that she's not new to this. She's true to this. She's been around the parks enough to know that as your supplier, in order for you not to go to jail and me to keep making my peas, you have to be silent. So I do agree. Jamie is very young, and we see that his youth has got him into a lot of trouble. We also seen Tilly gave Jamie a call, and now she's in the hospital, and when he got to the hospital, it's actually her father. Do you think that was a proper approach? And did that message, another message for Jamie, even be clear to Jamie? Because I felt like the father was saying, stay out of the streets, and Jamie, it seems as if he's brewing something up, and he is going to go deeper in.
Jamie only knew Tilly for a couple hours. There was no actual emotional connection. It's more shocking to see the consequences of your actions befall someone else. That's the worst. So if you yourself is punished for your actions, that's understandable. But if someone else faces the wrath or consequences or punishment for your actions, that's when it becomes incomprehensible. That was more of the message to Jamie rather than the father's heed and warning. The father is being a father, and in fact was more compassionate than I feel most fathers would be, simply because no hands exchanged. The father was not violent towards Jamie, spoke to him in a hurt, which is obvious manner, but emotional plea. This is the consequences of your actions. Look at it. Give it a face. Don't make it nameless, because that's what so many people do.
I kind of think differently. I think that Jamie did indeed fall a little bit for Tilly because he is young, and we see he doesn't have any other relationship with any type of girl or anyone. I mean, he's hitting or thinking about hitting on his supplier. So I think he was deeply involved in a sense of just young puppy love.
Even puppy love takes the secondary route. He was trying to hit. Let me explain this to all.
So he only trying to hit. Okay.
Let me help all the people out there who not only watch the show but are young and meeting people of me. Very few times do men, guys, heterosexual males, watch a female walk by and be like, yo, check out the morals on her. That's not really how it works. It turns out from mutual attraction comes possible healthy intimate relationship, and then possible emotions, or the two concur at the same time. But originally the understanding is he was attracted to Tilly. She was a very attractive young cute girl. That's how it works.
That's your opinion.
Let me help you out.
That's your opinion on some relationships, guys. I am a hopeless romantic, and I sometimes think that relationships can come in form of love at first sight. But we're not going to get into that relationship. We're going to get into a friendship and a relationship that Duchaine and Sully had that is crumbling. So they had this talk amongst themselves, and is Duchaine actually selfish? Is he selfish towards Sully? Would you agree?
Yes. If you watch seasons 1 and 2, which are labeled as Summer House on Netflix, you would realize that Sully makes a great point, says whenever you would say we, you really just meant you. And we see that because Dushane is not top boys, it's top boy. And Dushane is the one who became the top boy. Sully and his crew broke off because of that. And at the end of season 2, we see that Dushane, in an act to possibly help himself and Sully, also betrayed Sully and stopped working with him, which is what led to Desane, which led to Deshane's downfall and Sully's downfall subsequently from one another.
I can agree to a certain extent, because I do feel like although Duchaine has always been selfish, Sully was reckless. Sully was reckless. Again, if you guys watch Summer House, he was reckless. He was trying to kill everyone. He was willing to kill kids. Like, Sully was crazy. He is not the same calm man now that he's out of jail that he portrays to be. So Sully put himself in a situation.
You feel that Sully's calm? Didn't we just see him throw a concoction, as you like to put it, on someone's face?
He thinks more before he reacts. So that is a little calmer for Sully, because before he was reacting. Now he's thinking, and then he's reacting. So I do feel like he is a little calmer. But I feel like Duchaine has his way of feeling, the proper way of feeling how he has, and Sully does. He is entitled to the way he feels. That's just my overall opinion.
How do you feel about their deteriorating friendship, though? Is Sully is Sully correct in not only assuming that Dushane is selfish, but that Dushane has not changed? Sully does not forgive Dushane. We see him say no. And the no is based on what we may perceive as pettiness, but it's his emotional right to feel the way he does. Do you feel that Sully should say no?
I mean, I think the real question is, are there any friends in the drug game?
Yes, there are.
You think so?
There's definitely loyalty, and loyalty gets repaid, especially when it comes to criminality, because there are certain instances. Once again, I'm not advocating for criminality at all.
Right.
However, if instead of, and this is the prisoner's dilemma. If I, for example, if I tell, then I do 0 and the other person does 20. If I keep my mouth shut, we both do 10. So it becomes the prisoner's dilemma, right? That's where loyalty plays. If you can trust the crew, trust the people around you, you will succeed no matter what the project is. It's a team effort, but it has to be a team. However, there can't be too many chefs in the kitchen. Not everyone can be the boss. And that's the problem, is because the mindset, the psychology is, I want to be you in this atmosphere. I want to be the top boy. And that's where the problem comes to life. There can only be one boss.
Okay, I can definitely see that. But we talk about only having one boss, and as we know, Dushane is trying to get into the industry, drug game, but he can't without his 10 P's, big money problems. Is that how they would say it? No. Big money problems. I always try to say it. He always gives me this look like, no, girl, no, sis.
No.
Anyway.
Big money problems. That's what the kids are saying in these streets.
In these streets, in these summer house streets, in these streets, we got some big money problems. What do you feel about Dushane trying to steal from his mother? Is he actually going to steal from his mother?
To Dushane, it's not about stealing. He thinks that he's going to replace that money. That's the risk that they take. If something goes wrong, then what? He's thinking, I'm going to replace this money tenfold. It only takes me a month. She may not even notice.
It's so crazy because then when Sully seen him and she kind of said, hey, like, I see you differently. I don't see you as a guy to take from your mom. She was in her way hood, and she sent her friends, Jack, and we know that Jack's older sister is Lauren is her friend, and she does her nails. She sent her to basically tell her, hey, I do this lady's hair, and she has a lot of money. She's clueless. So you said before that she's a good girl, but is she actually a good girl? Seems like she's mixed into this as well. Maybe she has some type of street assistance, because I don't want to say cred because she's not in the streets, but she does assist. Maybe she's done this before. What do you think?
It seems that, first, I still have the opinion, or I'm under the opinion, that Shelly is not a stranger to the criminal world. It could be her baby daddy. It could be her personal family. However, she's not about that life. She's not a stranger to that life. And in this way, she thinks she's helping. This is a victimless crime, in her opinion. Instead of him going out robbing, stealing, whatever it may be, or even stealing from her own mother, Shelly points out to Dushane, I don't think you're that type of person. You have principles. Dushane replies, you don't know me. However, Shelly has this understanding of who Dushane is. And so she's willing to give up what to her is the lesser of two evils. There's a victimless crime from a person who has an abundance.
Right. But is it really a victimless crime? Because if they were to go down, she would be conspiring and helping him, assisting him in getting that money. So allegedly, she could possibly go to jail.
We don't know if Shelly did this. This is hearsay. Someone else used Shelly's name. We don't know what the truth is.
Right. I'm saying she can allegedly go to jail, so she knows what she's getting into when she is messing with Dushane. But speaking of money problems, we also have money problems with our guy Ats. Ats and Steph, they make burgers to sell because At is having money problems at home because his mom, the whole immigration thing. Do you see Ats taking Jack's request and getting into the drug game? Because it seems like he's really trying to help, and he's not staying in a child's place, and he's trying to assist his mom, which is, it's understanding, but it's crazy because as you want to see a little boy be a boy. But do you think he's going to take the request?
I think that this would be a good segue for them, Ats and Steph, to get into that life. It seems that that's the path. A lot of times we always think of criminality as the psychology of someone who is quote unquote bad. Oftentimes we see that it's actually out of necessity. This is the only way that I think that I can make money. I need money quickly. I have no other choice. I have no other options. This is what I've seen. This is a lot of rappers rap about things that are, which seem violent and negative. However, it's truly just them reporting on their environment. If you don't like what they're rapping about, change the things that they rap about. They wouldn't rap about that possibly if they came from better circumstance. So a lot of times we see the true victim is the person who becomes a victim of circumstance.
Understand. I think just looking at it from H. Howe's perspective and seeing Ats in this light, it saddens me because it isn't a problem that he should worry about, but unfortunately he is brought into this situation and he should be a child. And I see it progressing to something worse, unfortunately, because that story continuously unfolds and we see it, unfortunately, a lot. And it's just something that it shouldn't happen, and he should be able to just be a kid. Like that little boy who was playing basketball with Steph should be that boy again, not worrying about these money problems and just letting his mom handle it. Maybe it's something that his mom should continue to talk to him about.
But we hear a phrase that's thrown out in this episode. It is what it is.
But is that a phrase that is necessarily like cultural in there? Because I know like for we a lot of times it is what it is. Is it like family based? Is it something that's told to you? Or I wouldn't say cultural, but I don't. Oh man.
I think a lot of it has to do with circumstance. It is what it is the way you understand the world and understand the world is not fair, that oftentimes problems are not justified. They tend to happen, and there's nothing that you can do about them but make the best or do the best with the circumstance and situation that you're given, the circumstance at hand.
Yeah. That could definitely be it.
It's definitely a mentality.
Yeah, it's definitely a mentality. I feel it is what it is. Could mean several different things. I personally am a fighter, so I feel differently. When I say it is what it is, I don't take what it is. So for me, I'm always like, we can do better. But that is another opinion or something that does happen a lot. So that is true. Definitely just in a sense, going back to some family vibes. We had Sully and his newfound family, and it seems as if he may have stumbled across some peas because he's making money. Do you think that Sully lied to Dushane? Did he lie when he said, I don't have anything? Because now he has drugs and he's providing food and money. He has his own little thing going.
That's not what he said. He never said, I don't have anything. He said, I put aside some things. But that bag of money that we saw at season 2, that is gone. That was taken as evidence by the police. That's gone. That's been confiscated.
True.
Sully had a plan B. He went to his plan B. Is it what he would ideally like to be doing? No. He sees that we see Jace and Jem are both now junkies.
Yeah.
Obvious junkies. Sully is disappointed not only in them, but in himself. He wasn't there to protect them. He was their protector. Now, he's selling nickels and dimes. A kingpin going down nickel and dime. We have the steps again, or what we would effectively like to call in places like New York or D.C., the corner.
Yep.
That's what it is. It's the corner. That's where you get the handoff. You get the drugs being sold on one hand and then someone collecting the money so that the drugs and the money aren't in the same place at the same time, just in case we have police, because then it becomes intent to distribute.
You're right. Very true, very true. With his new family, we see that Jason and Jem are helping him, and Jem actually helped him get into a new house, and now
it's a trap house.
It is. It's not a trap house. No. It's not a trap house. So they're hungry for something more than drugs. They're actually hungry for food. So it's actually a house where immigrants are. That's what, because it said get out immigrants, something rude.
Get out foreigners.
Yes,
Foreigners.
something rude
No
on
foreigners.
the steps. Yes, foreigners. And we're seeing constantly this problem in London, and I'm sure it is a continuous problem in London where foreigners and immigrants are not wanted and they're treated differently.
It's interesting. It's actually not a very big problem in London. In London, actually, one of the things that you notice is how diverse and accepting people are. It's actually once you go outside. So as if any major city, it's always the outskirts, or as we think of it here, it's always those red states, the middle states. That's where you find a bigger problem with racism. The UK, especially Britain, is a much smaller place. So if you go north, if you go down south, the further you go out from the main city, the more of this type of temperament you will find. This mindset is something that's been basically washing over all of Europe and the United States, the Western world. This mindset of no foreigners, outset, onset, things of this, immigration policies, it mimics our own.
Right. Agreed. It definitely, I believe that Sully has to be outside. He's in the outskirts
But it's still a trap
from
house.
London. Right. I don't think
It's
not
still a trap house. Faiz it is a house that is in the hood. It is a trap house.
It is not a trap house.
It's a trap house now. They're trapping out the house.
Now it is a trap house.
They trapping out the bando.
They are trapping out the house, but it was not originally a trap house. It's not like there were junkies there, and they have a baby.
Sure.
In the
and
house.
of course, babies are never around junkies. But yes, I understand.
No, they're not. So the guy, I guess the owner, he seemed as if he could possibly be a crackhead, but it turns out that he's actually hungry and he needs food. So I don't think it's a trap house. But what do you think about the relationship between Jason and Sully? It seems like a father dynamic, especially with Sully not being in his daughter's life anymore. Or as we see right now, he's afraid to be with his daughter because he feels like he's a con man. Like that thought process, is that something that happens a lot with individuals who are in jail for a long time? Are they insecure about coming back around their family because they believe that, they're not good enough?
Well, I believe that there's some type of biological connection between Sully and Jace. Now, I think that possibly they have the same father and different mothers. I think it has something to do with that, or they're somehow related in some way. And whatever way that is, I'm sure either some people would possibly know. So if you at home know how they're related, please comment below. We'd love to hear from you.
Who?
Jason and Sully.
No, so Jason and Sully, they just met. Like Sully, if you guys have watched the other Summer House, Jason stole his phone. He was just like this little kid who had no hope in his.
But he adopted him as a person, in his life.
Yes, in his life. But they technically met just off the street. Like he stole his phone or something. He tried to get food, and then Jason just kind of kept tagging along. That's the Summer House version.
Yeah, but what I mean is that they're family. There's a connection there that goes beyond, which is why Sully mentions to him, my daughter, and she's your family too.
Yeah.
As if they're brother and sister, as if they're biological.
Yes.
So there's some connection there that's more, and I think we'll learn more about that. And that's why I was wondering if people at home know if there's something more than just, hey, you're this kid who hung around enough. There's something more there. It's a bond that they shared, and I think that that's going to come to light because we see Sully treats Jace like a little brother.
Yeah.
It's very similar to how Jamie treats Steph.
True, very true. So what do you think about their relationship as far as their relationship with Sully, Jem, and even Jason at this point? Are they going to continue to be their dynamic three and sell these drugs and make it happen? Do you see it continuously?
I think at some time Dushane has to come into play. I think that Sully has bigger dreams and Dushane clearly has bigger dreams, and that partnership is one that I'd be remiss to think is going separate ways.
I feel as far as relationship goes as well with Sully's daughter that he's eventually going to get back into his daughter's life. He's so adamant about watching her when she's on the school ground that he has to eventually get back into her life. At least I hope so.
Well, we would always assume that every child needs their parents. That's just the hope. And I understand Sully's point of view where he says she needs to see a hero, not smell and look at a con. I can understand that, but he's wrong. She needs her father in her life. It doesn't matter. A father will always be a hero to their child, especially in that age. It's difficult for him. He's basically projecting his own insecurities upon her without actually asking her what she wants. And we see that, unfortunately, in a lot of situations, especially when it comes from fathers who don't feel that they're apt to be in their child's life, and they tend to run away. And it's a shame to see Sully, who's such a strong character, be so weak in that aspect.
Yeah, very true. But speaking of things that are not weak, we want to let you know how much we love AfterBuzz TV.
That's right. We're not weak.
At all.
Thank you all for watching our after show and all the after shows. We do talk about all of your favorite TV shows. So if you don't like this after show, find one that you like. We talk about all of them. And here's the thing. We love hearing from you. Comment below. Talk to us in the chat. Tweet. Spread the word, share the love. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, give us 5 stars. The 5 stars we so greatly deserve. We are the #1 Top Boy after show. Thank you all for making us that. Continue. And thank you for keeping us being the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes, guys. Thank you so much. Let's get into some news and gossip. All right. So... I have some information here for you. Your favorite character, Jamie, his name is actually Michael Warren. And it seems as if he's going to be starring in a new movie called The Blue Story, coming to the movies November 22nd. So make sure you guys write that down. He says it's a captivating and authentic piece of art written and directed by Real Rap Man. So glad that he's involved in this, and he knows and you'll know why very soon. This will be something you've never seen before, and I'm proud of that. So, guys, make sure you check it out. We have a little clip here of the trailer. If you guys want to take a look. Seems really dope.
He's definitely going to be a star. This kid is a star.
Yeah, for sure.
He spells Michael a little weird because he puts the E before the A. Mikael Ward. However, here's the thing, and I'd love to hear the proper pronunciation just in case we're doing it wrong.
Of course.
But you've checked him out. You've seen him before on the A-list, where that movie went pretty well, especially on Netflix. And here, I'm telling you, this kid's going to be a star. He's got a great look. Mm-hmm. I have noticed that he's got that cut on his cheek, so I'm assuming that came from some real-life experience. So maybe he is more like Jamie than we realize.
Yeah, you know what? He obviously is definitely probably, maybe. We don't know. We don't have the clip, so sorry guys. But make sure you go on his Instagram. You'll be able to see it. It is amazing. And again, he is definitely a star. His acting skills are A1. MICHEALWARD, in case you're wondering, because a lot of people put the MICHAEL, the normal way or a regular way we are assuming how to spell Michael Ward, and another actor comes up. So it's Micah L. Ward, MICHEALWARD. Yeah. Make sure you guys check that out. Get that correct spelling. Did you learn any new Top Boy lingo?
Well, there were a couple words that I'd like to point out that we brought up. There was the word sayer. If you remember the word sayer, it's like, oh, you a sayer now. Sayer is someone who is in charge. That's a good word to use, a sayer. You're the one who says, you speak, and people listen. That's a sayer. We also heard the word piffed in this episode, last episode. Piffed is when something's picture perfect, or it looks great, or it's shiny. And of course, we hear the constant which is the tisk. The tisk is, of course, a very cultural thing, which has now basically transfigured itself into London culture, is the tisk. And I'm sure that tisk and rolling eyes, that sarcasm wit, is something that makes parents furious.
For sure, but it's all the more reasons why we love Top Boy, because we learn so much.
Yeah, bruv.
What up, bruv? But we're out, bruv. But before we go, we're going to tell you our plugs.
Find me at I Am Tehran all across the board. That's at IAMTEHRAN. And of course, hosting and paneling on a slew of other AfterBuzz after shows, because all of your favorite TV shows are my favorite TV shows too. And possibly find me in that London hood just rocking the Skepta and the whole Top Boy soundtrack, which is fire.
Yes. And hello, guys. Make sure you look at me or look for me on Instagram at ZakiaW_. And keep watching David Makes Man. Only 2 episodes left. It was great talking to you guys, and I can't wait to come back. See you later.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.